Sage Wanderer here, coming at you from Weatherford, Texas, the cutting horse capital of the world. Let's talk about impeachment, because it's my day off. So, let's talk about what's going on in the House of Representatives today. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, it's been explosive, to say the least. Honestly, in my opinion, the Republicans should just walk out. They should just leave this kangaroo court. Nadler is not allowing them to speak. They're controlling everything because they have the majority vote, and the Republicans are left out in the cold from every direction. And it's been like this from the get-go. Nancy Pelosi has already decided to draw up letters of impeachment, articles of impeachment. And so they intend to impeach this president. And let's be honest, they didn't decide recently. And, let's be totally honest. They've decided before the facts are in that he's guilty. In fact, they decided before the hearings he was guilty. In fact, they decided he was guilty before he even committed this current thing they're after him about. Before the phone call, they already decided they were going to impeach this president. In fact, as soon as they found out he was going to win or had won, they had already said, look, if he wins, we'll just impeach him. That they, for some reason, have seen impeachment as the way that you remedy when someone gets elected that you don't like and you don't agree with. Just impeach them. It's whack. Seriously, for lack of a better word, it's just craziness to think that we lost the election, so let's impeach this guy. But that's what they've been doing from the get-go. First was the Steele dossier, a made-up document paid for by Hillary Clinton and the Democrats of the DNC with the sole purpose of making Donald Trump look like some kind of, if you don't know what's in that, go look up Gate, okay? It's a long story. But it didn't make any sense when I heard it. It didn't sound like Donald Trump. It didn't sound like anything an intelligent person would do to begin with. It was a complete smear. It was almost infantile, right? And then he colluded with Russia and WikiLeaks. And I mean, I'm sure I'm leaving some stuff out here because they've got a new accusation every week. Every week there's some new accusation. And now, after he got cleared by Mueller, they're claiming this Ukrainian thing, which is in fact what Biden did. Biden's the one that took a bribe in the form of salary for his son at a Ukrainian gas company, right? Huge salary to a guy who washed out of the military on charges of cocaine, and now somehow he's worthy of this multi-million-dollar position at a gas company in Ukraine. And at the time, Biden's vice president, and he just so happens to be the go-to man for all things Ukraine, and is actually seen bragging to the Council on Foreign Relations about how he demanded that the prosecutor who was investigating his son be fired before they would give them the aid that was promised. So they're accusing Donald Trump of that, when in fact the Ukrainians got their aid and Donald Trump didn't get his investigation. And they're trying to link his asking them to investigate some stuff with the 2016 election. That's another thing. They're saying that the Ukrainians didn't interfere in the 2016 election. Furthermore, they're saying if you or I say that the Ukrainians interfered in the 2016 election, that we're perpetrating a falsehood, and we're believing a debunked, this is the new talking point of the day, a debunked conspiracy theory about Ukrainian interference. It's not a conspiracy theory. The Ukrainians say, yeah, we did that. We did. They admitted it. They've confessed. How's it conspiracy when they've confessed to the conspiracy? It's not a theory anymore. It's not conspiracy theory. It's conspiracy fact. But under oath, on the stand, in front of the Congress today, you had multiple people claim that that never happened. And that if you believe that, you're a conspiracy theorist. And that alone should be enough to make Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani be suspect, because they believe that the Ukrainians interfered when the FBI and the CIA said they didn't. Like, we're going to believe those lying sacks of crud over at the FBI. who put all this together as an insurance policy, right? In case he got elected. I mean, it's in their text messages. We know what's going on. Let's take the gloves off and just call it what it is. This is a coup. This is an unlawful attempt to remove a president. And it's not going to get past the Senate. And if it does, then the swamp is deeper than we thought. And there's Republicans are being blackmailed into their submission to the Democratic Communist overtake of our government. We've got a real problem here. And if you think it's just going to go away, it's just going to get worse. They've lost their ever-loving mind. They're willing to lie, cheat, and steal this election in 2020. That's what this is about. This is more about stopping his re-election. Let me tell you what. You can impeach him in the House. I don't think it's going to get past the Senate. And we're going to re-elect Donald Trump. In fact, not one Republican has crossed the line on this impeachment in the House of Representatives. Not one Republican has sided with the Democrats. Not only that, when they did the initial vote, a couple of Democrats sided with Republicans. But yet they're going ahead and doing it because it's not about rule of law. This isn't about protecting the Constitution. This is about stopping a president who was never supposed to be president. Donald Trump was never supposed to be president. The fix was in, but somehow, by hook or by crook, he managed to get in there, and it's made these swamp creatures lose their... Think about this. He campaigned on draining the swamp. Drain the swamp. Drain the swamp. Lock her up. Lock her up. Remember? We were there. You were there. Remember? So is it any stretch of the imagination to think that when he won the election, that the swamp monsters might be freaking the heck out? They might be going, okay, so that guy that won is going to come in here with the big axe and all the power, and he's going to start taking us out. So what are we going to do about it? So they marshaled their forces and decided the best thing they could do was remove him from office, one way or the other, by any means necessary. And so the impeachment quest began to come up with some viable, believable reason to impeach this president. They got Mueller involved, and he kind of dropped the ball. He didn't give them any smoking gun. It was a nothing burger. There was no there, right? So now they're on the Ukrainian thing, accusing Donald Trump of doing the exact same thing that Joe Biden did. You know, John Kerry did this too when he was Secretary of State. His son got very rich through foreign contracts and foreign owned companies that he worked for, even though he wasn't qualified to be there. That this is what they've been doing from the get-go, is you get elected and, you know, forget the salary. The salary's nothing. When you get elected, the whole idea is to get a cushy gig for your kids, get your ex-wife set up, or your girlfriend with a big, with some big job that means nothing and they don't have to show up for it. They just get the paycheck every month. It's almost like a form of money laundering. You take the bribe, but you don't take it. It goes to one of your family members. It's the oldest trick in the book. They've been doing it since the get-go. This has been going on since Roman and Greek days, okay? This is how the system works. So is it any surprise that they're making up stories on him? That I sat today and watched men under oath say that Joe Biden did nothing wrong and there was nothing wrong with his son, Hunter Biden's involvement with the Ukrainian gas company. Then if you believe that, you're perpetrating a conspiracy theory and you ought to be silenced. Right? That they're going after Ted Cruz for saying something we all know. The Ukrainians helped rig the 2016 election for Hillary Clinton. They just weren't any good at it. But they tried their level best. Russia tried for Trump, apparently. Ukraine tried for Hillary. There's a bunch of geese around here hollering. I'm out by the lake. Well, listen, I got to go pick up my sister's kid from school. But I got to tell you, if you think that Donald Trump deserves to be removed from office, you're a fool. I'll just tell you right to your face. You're uninformed, or you're one of the evil ones. One of the evil ones who's trying to overthrow our country with a coup. We elected him. He's our president. We're going to re-elect him. And if you try to stop him, you're going to have a big fight. If you try to stop us, we're going to fight you. We're not going to let you do this. We're not going to let you overthrow we're just not going to do it. If we have to pour in the streets like Hong Kong, if we have to go up against a tyrannical government like they are in Iran, we'll do what we have to defend the Constitution, defend the process and the country that we were all born into. Now, this is our country, and you're not going to be taking it away from us anytime soon. And if you try, you better be willing to fight, because that's where this is headed for, a big, giant fight. And it's on. It's already on. It's been on. Wake up, people. Wake up. It's not going away. It's just going to get worse as 2020 approaches.